Good morning, one and all. Just now we have listened to the practitioner's point of view as far as capacity building of librarians, public librarians in India. Now, I am just trying to complement her from the point of view of an academician, what can be done practically in our country, or what is feasible as far as our country is concerned. From yesterday onwards, we have been talking about the changes that are taking place in our society, that is at the societal level, at the cultural level, educational level, technological level, etc. And we have been highlighting the point that it is high time that public libraries change accordingly to suit the times. And that means the entire context in which public libraries operate is changing dramatically. First of all, we have to realize that. And we are in an age of innovation. That means that persuades us or that perforces us to be innovative in our approach. We have so far followed a traditional approach in imparting the services, but the ICT, information and communication technology, forces us to be innovative. There are 101 services which you can invent or which you can design in order to attract the community to the library. And there is a fundamental shift in the position and role of the public library in society, and that calls for a paradigm shift in the job profile of the professionals working in public libraries. And from the traditional point of view, 5 main tasks were there. I'm not limiting it to 5, there are many, but these are the more considered to be the more significant tasks. First one is making the information available to the users, then keeping the material collection up to date, and arranging and storing information, and assisting users in locating information, in finding information, and then exchanging information with other libraries. These were considered to be services of prime importance, or functions of prime importance as far as librarians were considered too. But in the changing scenario, in the new job profile, the librarian has to be an expert in using sophisticated online search engines, and he should be able to make new linkages with various stakeholders. Then critical about the quality of information. This has become all the more necessary in the context of digital information, which may not be always authentic. Even though we speak volumes about the availability of information in Google, we have to realize the fact that may not be authentic always. And then we have to be innovative in the relationships with the public in search of new meanings that fit with the public needs. And this is all the more important in the modern context. In other words, librarians have to change from information technicians to knowledge workers with focus on innovation. And learning, creativity, and knowledge sharing are the crucial competencies for knowledge workers in general, and those who are working in public libraries especially. And therefore, in the new scenario, a librarian combines in himself a collaborative attitude, then the social awareness, creativity, cultural knowledge, management skills, knowledge of digital developments, and availability to enter into alliances. This has been highlighted in the previous sessions yesterday, and that is the capacity to enter into alliances with other groups, the stakeholders. And now there is a need for change. I don't want to stick on to this because this is just highlighting the necessary for change. And here I want to just quote a phrase of Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian communication scientist and sociologist. Actually, I have a penchant for him because even though some people dub him as more or less a lunatic, he has done human service because he is the person who coined the term global village. And another one is medium is the message. And he has stated that to do today's job with yesterday's tools and yesterday's concepts will be foolish. Okay, therefore, that calls for, this is in a nutshell, emphasizes our need for changing ourselves. Then with the point or with the idea of developing a suitable model for our country, I made a survey. Even though I have used the word a cursory survey in the second paragraph, a cursory survey, actually it is not a cursory survey, I made an extensive survey of the practices existing elsewhere, but I have tried to confine myself to only a few examples. And the first one which I looked towards was America. In the American continent, as all of us know, public libraries play a crucial role in community development. They receive substantial allocation from the local governments also. And hence, many library schools offer at least one course in public library sector are meant for public library related topics. This is what I have seen. I have gone through some of the websites of majority of the library schools, and I have seen. I understand that there are 57 ALA accredited library schools, and most of them offer any course related to public libraries because there is demand. And here one more thing is there. In fact, students come to library schools with a specific career goals, such as public library jobs or academic library jobs or special library ones. And because of that, many of the library schools offer courses related to public libraries too. And the schools offer a range of courses. There is a variety of courses are offered by them. For example, they offer courses on children's literature, exclusive course on children's literature, then exclusive course on young adults or adult programming, storytelling, and youth and special services, etc. And these are all the specialized courses offered by them. And in addition, there are a number of other opportunities for public librarians to grow with. One example is Public Library Leadership Fellow Program offered by the Missouri University School of Information Science and Learning Technologies. That's a typical example of Public Library Leadership Fellow Program. As part of that, they develop or they focus on 25 selected students. That is at the rate of 8 students per year. And they have to undergo a training program for 3 years in collaboration with established libraries. And the intake is only 8, but with much focus on the intensity of the program. So in 3-year period, only 24 persons will be developed, but they will be elevated to the status of library managers. And I have gone through the details also, which I don't want to. Here, what they are taught, the community leadership, leadership for diversity in public libraries, public library administration and management, and these are some of the topics which are dealt with. Then another option available there is certified public library administration. That's a voluntary post-MLS, postgraduate program, or after the post-graduation. This is a certification program for public librarians with the 3 years or more of supervisory experience. That again is modulated for developing managers, public library managers, or for managerial positions. Then certified public library, I'm going into the details, I'm just skipping. And then Palmer School, an individual school I have taken, Palmer School of Library and Information Science, College of Education, Information and Technology. They offer advanced certificate in public library administration. And another example is New York State Public Librarian Certification. That is a must. This certification is a must if you want to work anywhere in public libraries in New York State. And then there are potential providers and course opportunities. A number of opportunities are there, and which are all certified by the American Library Association. An exhaustive list is provided here. Example, library associations and organizations, then reference and research library resources, and school library systems, etc. So many offers are there, so many opportunities are there. And then coming to the Dominican University, then Drexel University, then coming to UK, CILIP has taken a major role in developing librarians for the public libraries. Degrees accredited by the Chartered Institute of Library Information Professionals, CILIP, are very much in existence, and they also offer these programs through a variety of library schools as well as other library associations. And as far as Netherlands is concerned, of late in 2010, a teaching library school, especially for developing public librarians. Our librarians meant for public libraries was developed. The details are also given. I am just skipping. Now, coming to India, I just want to focus. Say, for example, it was stated yesterday that IFLA has recommends a library for every 3,000 people situated within a mile of the population that it serves. To meet this first requirement, India would need at least 4,25,000 professionals in the public libraries. At least 50%, that is my view, 50% of these 4 lakh and odd libraries need full-time professionals. Okay. Others, we have to take up the approach in a phased manner, and at least 2 lakh libraries have to be provided with manpower. And then here, when we come to India, in the absence of any professional association with accreditation power, we don't have such setup here, because ILA is there, AZLIC is there, but they don't have any stake in the education. Apart from offering some continuing education programs, they have no voice, they have no stake in offering educational programs. Here, in the absence of any professional association or any governmental agency which conduct courses in library and information science in the higher level, there are only 2 options to develop public library manpower in India. The first is the development of a statutory body like Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and Institute of Company Secretaries, etc. But it's not an easy proposition, taking into consideration the interest, or rather lack of interest, of the governments towards public libraries or towards libraries as a whole. And therefore, the second option is to select library schools to impart special courses aimed at developing professionals for the public library sector. The safest course is to recruit master's degree holders in LIS to middle level posts and upwards, and in public libraries right from the taluka level or the tehsil level onwards. That is to district level and state level. Even now, almost all, as it was stated here, no library school offers courses. That is why I am just highlighting this point. Library schools offers a paper, at least at the MLA's level, a paper exclusively, a specialized paper on public library system. But speaking from my experience, for the last 20 years, nobody has opted in my university for this public library system paper. Everybody opts for the academic libraries or special libraries or social science library system or science library system, etc. And this is the situation prevailing. Maybe due to non-availability of opportunities. There can be more reasons also, because jobs in public libraries are not considered to be lucrative or profitable or demanding. Then the demand is more on academic library system. And just like the chartered programs of Western countries, it can be a part, say, it is better to identify at least one library school. This is just to start with. Library school in the state to impart training to the public library professional to begin with. This is, this opinion I have formulated because of the diversity in the culture, say for example in the languages, in our 35 or 29 plus 6 union territories prevailing, and therefore it is better to start with identify one library school and enter into a tie-up with them just to motivate them, and this can be thought of in the beginning. And the core topics I have just listed, which should be included in a training program, in a post MLS program, this I have just. But remember, this has to be done in collaboration with identified public libraries. This cannot be done in isolation, because mere theoretical approach will not be sufficient, and therefore they have to work in liaison with established public libraries exclusively identified for that purpose. This is very much needed. The topics include history and philosophy of public libraries in India, characteristics, operations, and problems of public libraries in our context, not only textbooks based, but in collaboration with the libraries. Then effective communication techniques, this is all the more necessary if you want to work in a public library, or for that matter, a library of any sort. Then administration and management of public libraries, then team building and leadership. This has become all the more necessary, especially at the supervisory level. Then resources and services meant for children, then resources and services for young adults, government information sources, etc. These are only a few topics which I have suggested in my paper. And then comes the issue of developing manpower in smaller libraries. So far I was just discussing about manpower required for libraries at the taluk level onwards, that is upwards. And then comes the libraries at the lower level. Here, you know,
Professor?
it is taking into, yes,
Wrap it up.
only 1 minute. Taking into consideration the societal development, it is better to recruit persons with a degree, at least a degree, to the lower levels. Then they can be trained. A duration of the part-time course can be. Say, for example, part-time courses are needed for them. First of all, they have to be absorbed, they have to be recruited, and then they have to be trained. Part-time courses can be offered. E-learning methods can be effectively used, but as I have highlighted, this should be in collaboration with the libraries. And I have just listed the topics that can be included in such a scenario, in such a training program. I am not stressing on them due to paucity of time. And here we have to combine academic knowledge and competence development should go hand in hand. This is what I have to share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,